There's a lot of blockchains out there, but how do you decide which is the best one? Specifically, we're going to be looking at the Ethereum blockchain versus the Binance Smart Chain. And this is just an honest third-party point of view review as a user. Which one is going to be the best experience for me, and which one's going to help me make the most money, making trades, buying into the right coins, projects launching, and not being obliterated by gas fees. We're also going to be briefly looking at some other blockchains like Matic, as well as Fantom and Wanchain. But the main focus of today's video is comparing Ethereum against the Binance Smart Chain in the term or scope or reference of DeFi, Decentralized Finance. We're going to be looking at applications built on the blockchains, things like decentralized exchanges and yield farms, and basically just tools and tokens that are really designed to hopefully help you make money. Please keep in mind that in this video, I'm going to assume you know and understand what Metamask is, how to set it up, and how to use it, in not only just with Ethereum, but also the Binance Smart Chain. We've got video guides on both of these things, and we even just launched a video guide on the Trust Wallet, which is an excellent wallet for interacting with all of these different DeFi blockchains. So let's go ahead and run 10 seconds of tails, the best Shiba Inu and Dogecoin freaking ever, and then jump into this review, and hopefully by the end of it you will be able to understand which blockchain is the best for you, and hopefully also just some interesting information related to this. Here's a quick message from our month's video sponsor, Compass, who are aiming to become the best marketplace for the purchase of Bitcoin mining ASICs, and the best place to find cheap power prices at verified mining co-location facilities around the world. Mine with Compass with our link in the video description below. What a crazy day with this market. As always, this is not financial advice. Cool shirt, right? Though, linked it out below because they sent it to me for free, and I gotta say that stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. But first, let me show you something disgusting, and it's not the massive dip, which is, is absolutely gut-wrenching. And I hope you guys bought the dip. I really did. I'm really confident that we're gonna bounce back real quick and just very violently, right? But as violent as you go down, violently you can come back up. Gas fees. Ethereum gas fees, yet again, absolutely atrocious. When you need Ethereum most, it will let you down. That is the Ethereum slogan. You want to do a quick Uniswap swap, right? A little decentralized exchange with the boys? $320 is your average price there. Absolutely insane. Basic token transfer, $100. Unreal. So maybe I sound a little biased, or maybe that's because I've spent over $10,000 on Ethereum gas fees with just my main wallet that I use here, and with all my just crazy farming endeavors. But I didn't want to click that. But Binance Smart Chain is absolutely not a perfect solution, and it's absolutely not backed by a perfect entity or a perfect person, the face of that. Right? There's shortcomings with Vitalik Buterin as well as CZ, basically the faces of Ethereum and the Binance Smart Chain. So, quick note here that I just want to make before we go too far is I'm assuming that you understand what Ethereum is, the basics of it in the blockchain, and the Binance Smart Chain, which is literally just a clone, a little bit more modified version of Ethereum. I'm not saying it's better, more that it's different. There's a lot less use on the Binance Smart Chain as opposed to the Ethereum blockchain, but that doesn't directly correlate to just daily active users and transactions taking place. So just because there's more projects built on Ethereum, if those projects are not really being used, well, that's not really contributing to all this backlog. And also another thing to keep in mind is there's a lot of dirty, shady stuff that goes on in cryptocurrency. Binance has basically endless money, a bottomless war chest. So they could be spamming transactions on the Ethereum network to just make everybody hate it. And where are you gonna go? The next best option, Binance Smart Chain, but I'm starting to sound a little biased again. But anyway, my point was just that I'm also assuming you know what Metamask is, how to use it, how to set it up, and the basics of using the Binance Smart Chain, or linking your Metamask to work on the Binance Smart Chain, or you watched our Trust Wallet review. So I have full video guides on everything I just talked about, but I just kind of wanted to lead with that because I'm not going to be recapping those things in today's video. So we click over, that's a nice change to see, right? I click over here. Zapper Fi is a really nice tool for Ethereum DeFi Decentralized Finance. Helps you monitor what's in your wallet, what do you have deposited, your NFTs, yield farming, what coins are staked, liquidity pools. So I could click staked and it shows me what I have staked and where, the different platforms associated, and say like, oh, I want to see what's going on in the Binance Smart Chain. I can click over to that and I can pull some of my information there. They're adding a lot more to this. And this is a very useful tool if you're using both of these blockchains. And it's likely you are or you will be if you're watching this video. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that quickly there. So we look at the daily active Ethereum addresses here. And just recently, it was popping around 750,000. And we compare that with active Binance Smart Chain addresses. It's been over 1 million for numerous days recently, right? It recently dropped down back to 1 million. And it's not just that simple and it's not that clear cut, but this is also a network. And again, this isn't like apples to apples here. And they also basically just copied Ethereum, which makes it a little bit easier when you copy someone else's homework and then you just change one answer and then you got a better grade than them. Like, dude, you didn't even study and you beat the smart guy. Clever. Nobody likes to be the smart guy copied off of in that scenario. This chart's a little messed up, but it shows you the average gas price here. And just the big takeaway is that Binance Smart Chain has just absolutely exploded in use. And when we started talking about it to you guys here on the channel, daily active addresses were around 10,000. It's really crazy to see that network go skyrocket past 1 million. But does that mean that it's actually better though, right? So Uniswap is the most popular decentralized exchange, and it's really like the catalyst for all this DeFi stuff in cryptocurrency. And they just launched V3, which I haven't completed my video review for yet. But it's a very nice exchange that everybody, one way or another, copies. But it's only on the Ethereum blockchain, and they're very biased towards Ethereum. Whereas if they would have implemented or added Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap probably would have never existed. But they think they're too good for that, right? So instead of being able to make trades in an environment you really trust, right? Much cheaper on the Binance Smart Chain, because a trade that costs you $100 on Ethereum right now would cost you less than $1 on the Binance Smart Chain, which is just kind of a crazy comparison. So if I click over here and just refresh PancakeSwap, they have really gamified the experience. They're actually more of a sushi swap fork or clone, which kind of adds a lot of fun, a lot of things to do, a lot of farming, a lot of staking, right? So there's single asset token staking. They even made it so your cake automatically restakes, which is their native platform token, right? And PancakeSwap leads the charge on the Binance Smart Chain, and almost every BSC token, or BEP20, not 2, BEP20 token, is associated with PancakeSwap. Like, they're listed on it, and they drive everyone there, and they try to build liquidity on it. It's really just like the epicenter, right, to use that word again. And you compare that with Uniswap, it's kind of the same thing over there. But again, you need at least $1,000 to transact on the Ethereum blockchain right now. Realistically, you need to be using like $10,000, because you're gonna pay about 10% on. If you have $1,000, you make one trade on Uniswap for $100. That's 10% cost, right? So you're gonna have $900 of the coins that you bought. So it's gotta appreciate. You gotta gain at least $200 just to make another $100 trade just to wash out. That's crazy. Whereas you can do a lot more smaller micro trades, feel this stuff out, just get a little bit of BNB in your account, and then from there, it's very, you can go out here and try it out. And you're gonna be dealing with so many just smaller transaction fees. Like, let me show you some of my recent transactions here. So I made a trade on PancakeSwap. My transaction fee was 32 cents. Okay, that's a wild discrepancy. So let me click over to the Ethereum mainnet, and I want to complete this swap, and I say sure. My cost to make that trade is $118. $118 is how much it costs to complete that trade. It's truly absurd. It really is. It's astonishing. And maybe this was supposed to be a comparison video, and maybe it's just turned into a this versus that. So, or that didn't even make sense. Nice comparison there. So, look at this article. We come down here towards the bottom, and we look at the conclusion, and basically the takeaway is that the big thing is you trust Ethereum. It's older, it's more established, it's not backed by Binance, which has a debatable reputation, a reputation of winning. A little bit of shady practices, or CZ wonders if they should just roll back their blockchain. That's not very blockchain, brother, but can you really talk crap about that when Ethereum did the same thing previously? No, you can't. So we're dealing with two bad actors in that regard. But the Binance Smart Chain originally comprised of 21 validators, and looking to basically expand it and make it more robust and add more, a bigger user base, right? More decentralization. Whereas Ethereum has or at the time of this article, about 80,000 active validators, and that's significantly more decentralized. But if you're doing that, you're on Ethereum 2.0 and you can't even get your coins back to Ethereum 1.0 and actually trade them, which is a little bit of a weird and wild concept. I'd like to take a brief moment to thank today's video sponsor, and that's Pact token, available on Uniswap as well as PancakeSwap, which are two decentralized exchanges on two different blockchains, like Ethereum versus Binance Smart Chain. Their token is the epicenter of their peer-to-peer and business-to-business exchange, their ecosystem partners, as well as their own NFT tokens and associated liquidity mining, as well as PancakeSwap, which allows for swapping of tokens, farming, and of course the word just never stop here in liquidity. Learn more about the Pact token with the link in the video description below. But the takeaway, and it has a good note here, a lot of people will use Binance Smart Chain but then transfer things back to exchanges or just wallets not associated, or just simply like the Ethereum blockchain. You have like more just long-term hope, right? So we discussed PancakeSwap, and it's kind of like level one. It's where you start on the Binance Smart Chain. You make a couple decentralized trades. I click over here to the exchange, and let's just say I've got some BNB, or I need to switch back over. So I'll switch over to the Binance Smart Chain. And let's say I just want some cake, right? Their native token here. And I just want to put 0.1 BNB into it. And I'm like, that's ugly. I want 2 cake. So I go ahead, I click the swap, I confirm that I'm happy with these rates. I verify it in my Metamask, which is again just my browser-based wallet here. And just like that, I made a trade. I didn't have to make an account. There was no intermediary. They didn't kick me out because I'm a US citizen. It's very beautiful technology. And that's just kind of like the basics here, right? And then you click over to something like wheat.growthdefi.com, which I've got linked out below if you want to check it out. And these are the kind of projects that I personally find a lot of excitement with. You look at the market cap, it's 1.4 million right now, as opposed to Cake, which, let's try this again, CoinGecko. You've had a rough day, buddy. Don't you give up. We need you. You look at Cake, it's got a $4 billion market cap. That's a crazy difference. So it's very easy for a project to go from 1.4 million to 3 million than it is for PancakeSwap to appreciate to $8 billion, which it probably will. But if that's the case, I'm looking at a 10x over here, a 100x. That's, obvious. It's a little bit of hoping, right? It's always the dream. This is a financial advice. You do whatever you want to do, but I'll show you what I'm doing here. This is just called a yield farm. And basically, they optimize their platform, which I'm going to make a whole video just kind of breaking down what that is. But it's all about yield, gains, making trades. They add vaults to their platform. You can compound your earnings and everything like that. Wheat is their native token here. But for example, right? So I can have a cake and wheat over here, and I put my 54 cake that I had into this vault. And with that, I basically input $1,200 of liquidity that I'm earning 239% interest on, but I'm getting paid out in the wheat token. So please understand that. 239%, but paid out in wheat. Whereas I have some cake that I am farming here, which starts to sound really funny when you say all this stuff like this. But I'm farming my cake on the PancakeSwap exchange, and I'm earning 142%. And let's say I want to throw some more cake at it. Oh yeah. But my point is that I could earn 142% in cake over here, or I could earn 237% on my cake over here. But the big takeaway is, unless you're looking for very high speed trades, like get a bunch of interest, make a bunch of coins, and then get out and switch back, you need to have some belief in the future of this project or their token price, or whatever. So the takeaway is basically that instead of wanting to just farm cake and believing in cake, I think that I want to like use my cake stash that I already have. I think that'll do well, diversify a bit, and I'll put it over here. I'll earn a higher interest rate, and I'll get paid out in the wheat token. I'm taking the wheat tokens, I'm taking a lot of the wheat tokens, and I'm putting them over here just in their wheat vault, and I'm earning interest on that. And I can go ahead and compound my wheat, very easily, just like click, and now I'm earning 224%, which is a variable interest rate on basically 1-2 more wheat. And the big takeaways is that I think there's a bigger upside for wheat in comparison with cake, and that's just really simple. But one thing I really like about wheat is that they've ordered a $100,000 audit from Consensus. Okay, you don't just do that unless you're confident and you're serious about your project. $100,000, that's an insane price. And there's a wait list. Ethereum for DeFi and the Binance Smart Chain for DeFi have a lot of things in common. One of that is NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. But I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, NFTswaps.io, who are creating a way to swap your NFTs for better prices. With their platform, you'll be able to tokenize your NFTs to BEP20 equivalents. Get better prices for your NFTs. Accessing another network adds to more liquidity. Faster NFT swaps with no delay time. Shout out to BSC for centralized transaction processing. Learn more about NFT swaps with the link in the video description below. A couple other up and coming DeFi blockchains that we definitely don't want to leave off, just at least a mention in this video. They all deserve their own fully dedicated video. For one is the Matic token, Matic.network, which is now becoming Polygon. They are just absolutely taking off and rocketing and have just doubled in price, and they're probably on track to break $10 per token. But on top of just price speculation, is they're really just getting a lot of use, a lot of traction. Then we have smaller up-and-comers like Fantom and their FTM token, which have some cool projects being built on their blockchain as well. And it's very easy to sync with your Metamask, so it just turns out, just ends up being one click over. We've got a video guide I'm working on that will be bringing to the tube here shortly, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. And then we've also talked about a couple projects on Wanchain, but I haven't had the time to make a full dedicated review. But this is yet another cool project in blockchain that could really take off in the DeFi space. They're already gaining a lot of traction, and literally every other option I've talked about is much cheaper than Ethereum. So it's not just about, oh, you should use Binance Smart Chain instead of Ethereum. It basically, let me go full screen. Basically, you should use anything other than Ethereum. Ethereum may be the OG when it comes to smart contracts here and gaining a lot of traction, and even in the DeFi, decentralized finance space, and maybe everybody just copies all the good stuff off Ethereum and takes it to other blockchains. But the fact of the matter is that I don't want to, and it's just, it's not financially feasible for me to pay hundreds of dollars per trade. Like, you're losing to legacy finances, right? The banks charge me $35 for a wire. That's so much cheaper than a basic Ethereum transaction right now. You're losing to the banks. I thought that dude said you were going to be bankless. So as always, guys, that's my quick take, kind of like mini tutorial. I don't even know, whatever this video ended up being on the Binance Smart Chain versus the Ethereum blockchain and the couple other contenders in the space. And there's a couple projects we didn't talk about, but this video is already getting a little bit long. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment below, and let me know your thoughts. As always, I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next video.